And it's said that before the war in Poland, that Hitler supposedly kept sending communiques to von Fritsch that he wanted him to come back because he was nervous about the capabilities of the other generals that he had in von Fritsch's place. That's in here. This is a great book, I swear. I believe that those communiques was just an idea, a way to keep von Fritsch destabilized enough until they could figure out where they were going to kill him. But on von Fritsch's half, this shows you exactly where von Fritsch's mind was at to make the kind of commands that this book says he made. After February 1938, von Fritsch said he would only return if Himmler was dismissed and tried. That's in 1938. Himmler, the mass murderer. Heydrich was a man who worked for Hitler. He wanted Heydrich executed. And he wanted Goebbels, and he called Goering the baby elephant man. That was his words in this book. The baby elephant man, Goering, dismissed. He wanted Goebbels and Goering dismissed. So he wanted to cut the entire body off of the Nazi Party. And he would go back to work for Hitler. Now he knew in his mind this would never happen. But the reason he did this, I believe, is a set in history exactly where his heart was. That he refused to be a part of this insane party of mass murder. And that he was going to put his name into history as someone who fought against it. And he lost, but he fought against it for his family name. So we reach September 22nd of 1939. Von Fritsch is looking out binoculars. It's a cold day and cold morning, and von Fritsch tells his adjutant, "Look, can you get me my coat, please?" His adjutant turns around. There are 4 SS officers behind von Fritsch. One of them pulls out a Luger and shoots the adjutant to death. He was trying to shoot von Fritsch. Von Fritsch instantly reacts, and he turns around, pulls out his Luger, and he shoots 2 of those SS officers dead immediately. He shoots the 3rd one in the stomach, and he gets shot in the belly. Von Fritsch gets shot in the belly, in the head. The 4th officer that shot him, as von Fritsch lies on the ground, he pulls his Luger up and he kills that one too. He killed all 4 of them. And he died. After that event, the Nazis went on a multiple lie party about how von Fritsch died. They said that he was exposing himself to enemy lines to get himself killed. They said that the SS were notified by the internal intelligence that controlled them that von Fritsch had actually complained about SS units running over women and children, and that he tried to interfere with their operations, which which is kind of a human way of looking at somebody, I think, But that was a lie, and there were reports that he was shot by a sniper. There was also one report which was very telling, which was from his adjutant, that said, "I tried to take Herr Fritsch's leg braces off, and he said, with a smile on his face, he says, 'Don't worry about it,' and he bled out and died." Now that part of the murder of Colonel General Baron von Werner von Fritsch, I believe. But that was after he had murdered 4 SS officers sent to kill him. That was his life statement right there. It's important to understand that after Werner von Fritsch was murdered, Adolf Hitler backdated a Nazi order to have all disabled children collected and murdered in Germany. All children who were not genetically pure or healthy were to be, all children born after that were to be judged by doctors. And if they were in any way deformed, they were to be murdered. That order was backdated to September 1st, 1939, but it was actually brought up after Werner von Fritsch was murdered. That's how much they hated this guy. The Nazi Party didn't want any chance that somebody with a disability would become as brilliant as he was, as human as he was, and fight them as hard as he fought them. So they were going to kill that kind of child in the womb or out of the womb before it ever had a chance to fight the Nazi Party again. So when you look at the history of this man, yes, he is a killer. Yes, he was a Nazi. He was a member of the Nazi Party. You couldn't survive in Germany without being a member. Yes, you're going to see a lot of very ugly things that he's supposedly written, which I submit were written with the idea that he knew everything he wrote was going to be read by the Nazi intelligence agencies. And for the protection of his loved ones, he had to play along. But his actions speak louder than words. When a man can tell you, I'll come back to work for you, but every gangster you have below you has to be essentially taken care of. In other words, I don't believe a damn word about anything you say or anything you're doing, but I'll come back to work for you if you get rid of all these gangsters. For him to say that explains everything you need to know about Colonel General Baron Werner von Fritsch. He knew he was going to die. And he left the order to show people why he died and what he died for. So, just remember that Nazi Germany wasn't all Nazis. It wasn't. The Nazi Party was a bunch of goddamn gangsters and murderers and psychopaths. So when you see their parties where they have the swastikas and the red flags, remember that's all built to intoxicate people to the idea. But the truth about the Nazi Party was it was just a bunch of gangsters. And further truth of it is that they destroyed this man's legacy because they could not stand it. And that destruction continues today. I hope you like this true story. As far as I can tell you, it's a true story. And I hope you investigate this man and find out for yourself. This book, Hitler's Generals by W.E. Hart, it's like $23 online. And man, is it a good read. Have a good night.